everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video we are doing a wrap up and also a TBR video in one, just because I thought it would just be easier. I'm not going to do a wrap up every single month. I think I'm going to do wrap ups every 2 months, included in a TBR video, and then every other month it will be just a TBR video. But yeah, so let's go over all the books that I read in March and April, and also go over the books I have picked out for my May TBR. So the first book that got finished in March was So You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. If you guys saw my bookshelf scavenger hunt video, you will know how I felt about this book. I was honestly really disappointed with this book. I gave it a 2-star. I was just not impressed with the story. I felt like it was a bit rushed, and honestly I can't really remember much about this book now because it has been quite a while, but I remember just that I did not enjoy this as much as I have enjoyed all the other Abby Jimenez books that I've read. So I will not be reading the next one that comes up that's after this one, just because I just don't think I'm going to enjoy it. But I do want to read other Abby Jimenez books, so if you guys have got any Abby Jimenez books that I haven't read, then drop them in the comments and I will pick them up and see if I enjoy them. The second book that I finished in March was one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and that was In Her Own League by Liz Tom-Ford. I ended up giving this a 4-star. I enjoyed the book and I love these characters, and it was nice to be back in this world with these characters that I do genuinely love and enjoy. However, I just wasn't as in love with this book as I was with some of the other books in the Windy City series, which is why it got a 4-star, but still an incredible read, and I'm definitely glad that I picked it up, and I'm really looking forward to Abby Jimenez's next series that she brings out, because I just think it's going to be really good and I love her writing. So the third book that I finished in March was honestly my favourite read of the month, and that is The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. This is an absolutely incredible thriller. As you guys know, I'm kind of going into my thriller era this year, and Ida bought me this one for Christmas, and it was genuinely such a good freaking book. I think I read the entire thing in a single sitting. I had such a good time with it. It was such a good story, and I was not expecting the ending, and I really just was so excited when I was reading this. I had an incredible time. If you like thrillers, I would definitely recommend picking up this one if you haven't, just because I genuinely thought it was so good, and I can't wait to read some of the other books that Ida got me for Christmas, because this was amazing. Then after I finished reading The Night She Disappeared, I won't lie, I went into a major reading slump, and I'm kind of still in it now. I'm just not really in my reading era at the minute. I'm more doing a lot of like gaming and writing and things like that, so that's why I haven't really been reading as much. So because I was slumping, I went back to one of my all-time favorite series, the Heartstopper comics. You guys know I have read these comics so many times. I literally have an entire video on my channel of me doing a reread. I do an annual reread of this series. I rewatched the TV show so many times. I watched the TV show twice this year, and it's literally only May, so that just proves how much I love the show. But you know, I decided to reread all of the Heartstopper comics. I read them in like 3-4 days, I think, and I had a phenomenal time just because I love these books and I love these characters, and I am so excited for volume 6 in the Heartstopper series to come out on July 2nd, and you best believe I will be getting that the day it comes out and reading it straight away. Okay, so for the next few books, they're not ones that I actually own. These were all ones that I read on my Kindle, and the first one I read was The Alpha's Getaway by Savannah Rose. This was originally a book that I read on Wattpad a few years ago, and I reread it on Wattpad so many times, but the author got her books published, and I really wanted to read the published version. There is technically 2 books before this one in the series, but because I'd already read the Wattpad ones, I kind of already knew what was going to happen, so I just went on to this one. I do plan on going back and reading the other ones, I just don't know when. But yeah, no, I really wanted to read this. I have loved werewolf stories since I was younger. Like, what really got me into reading was reading werewolf stories on Wattpad. I still love them now. So yeah, I just had a really good time with this book. I ended up giving it a 4-star. I actually won't lie, I preferred the Wattpad version of this, which oh well. But obviously she had to change some things that she put on Wattpad in the actual like book that she got published, or maybe she just decided to change the story. But I preferred some of the scenes that we had in the Wattpad book to the one that got published. But I still do want to read the other two books, and I would definitely reread this one again, and I think I want to buy the physical versions of these books just because I genuinely really enjoyed it. Then after that, after I finished reading The Alpha's Getaway, I was still slumping, so I decided that I wanted to start rereading one of my favourite Why Choose series, which is the Ryan series by Sadie Kincaid. I read the first two books, which is Ryan Rule and Ryan Redemption. I absolutely love these books. They're so good. I am still continuing the series at the moment, but obviously I've talked about this series before. I love this series. I love these characters. I love this like Why Choose relationship. I can't pick a favourite man just because I adore all of them for their each different qualities. So yeah, I had a great time rereading the first couple of them, and then after I read the first two, I obviously gave them 5 stars. After I read the first two, I decided to listen to the dramatised audiobook version of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas, and that made me realise I do not like dramatised versions of audiobooks. They're really not for me. The background noises and all of the things that were happening in the background really just threw me out of the story and made it harder for me to concentrate. So I didn't really particularly enjoy the dramatized version of the audiobook for this book. So whoops. But I still really enjoyed doing my reread. This book is a 4-star for me. It was originally a 5-star when I first read it, but now that I've read the rest of the series, this one is a 4-star for me. But I still really enjoyed doing my reread and getting to be back in this world with these characters. As you can tell, I did a lot of rereading in April. Then after I finished that, I finished reading the third book in the Ryan series, which is called Ryan Retribution. And then I paused reading that series after I read that one, just because I wanted to try and read some other things. And then the last book that I read in April was A Court of Mist and Fury, which is obviously book 2 in the ACOTAR series. I love this book. This one is a 5-star for me. I listened to the normal audiobook with this one, and I read it in a single sitting. So yeah, I just sat there all night and read the entire thing in one sitting, and this is not a small book. I think it's like 600, yeah, it's over 600 pages. So you can tell that I was very much locked in. And then after I finished this, I read the first 170 pages of the book 3 in the series, but then I stopped reading. And then after I finished this, which I think was on the, when did I finish reading that? 13th of April, I have not finished a book since. And that is not to say I haven't been reading at all. I have started books and I have read little bits of different books, but honestly, I'm just really not in a reading mood at the moment. So yeah, the last book that I actually finished was A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm currently in the middle of reading 2 different books. I'm currently reading, obviously, A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is book 3 in the ACOTAR series. And no one is allowed to judge me for this book's title in my comment section, but I wanted a spicy Why Choose romance. I went onto my TikTok, and like I said, I like werewolf stuff, I like Omegaverse stuff, so I went for an Omegaverse book and I picked up The Naughty Omega by Jessica Winters, and I am 70% of the way through this. I do plan on finishing it soon, I just do not know when. But yeah, it's fun, it's okay, I'm not obsessed with it. But you know, I was in the middle of reading that, and I'm also in the middle of reading A Court of Wings and Ruin. And then there's other books that I started that I haven't finished. Look, like I said, I'm really just not in a reading mood at the minute. But I do have 2 books that I did DNF in the last couple of months. So I DNF'd 1 book each month. So in March, I actually ended up DNFing Face Off by Chelsea Curto. I DNF'd this 37 of the way through the book, and I did it on the 26th of March. And honestly, the reason I DNF'd it is because I was just so bored, and after I'd put it down, I just had no urge to pick it up again. Like, I knew it was there on my Kindle for me to read, but I just had no desire to pick up this book, and I was just genuinely really bored of it. So I ended up DNFing that one. And then the next one was Queen of Hearts by Sarah Blue. This was another Why Choose Omegaverse. And I DNF'd this on the 27th of April, and I DNF'd this at 51%, and that was genuinely just because I was bored of the story. It felt like it wasn't progressing, and then the areas where it was progressing too quickly, and just, yeah, it just wasn't the best writing. And yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it all that much. So yeah, I've not finished a book since the 17th of April. And I don't know when I am going to be finishing one anytime soon, just because I don't have the urge to pick up any books to read, because yeah. But yeah, no, those are all the books that I read in March and April, and now it is time to tell you guys what my May TBR is. Okay, so for my May TBR, I decided to ask my lovely twin, one of my best friends, Alice, to pick some books for me to read. So she has given me a bunch of books that she has loved and read and that she really wants me to pick up. So yeah, I'm really excited to read all of these. I am going to try and do a reading vlog of me reading these books, but I just don't know when it's going to be uploaded, just because, like I said, I am very slumpy at the moment. So the one and only book on this list that is actually on my physical TBR is Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold. I read Nanny for the Neighbours by Lily Gold, and I absolutely loved this. I loved it so much. So Alice said this is her favourite from that series. Well, it's not a series, from Lily Gold's books. She said Faking with Benefits is her favourite, so she said to read this one, and I'm very excited because Lily Gold's writing is great, and also it's Why Choose, and I love me some Why Choose. And then she also said to read Triple Duty Bodyguard by Lily Gold as well, and to read that before reading Faking with Benefits. So I'm going to take her word for it, and those are two of the ones she told me to read, which I'm very excited to pick up. Then for the next couple of books, we have books 3 and 4 in the Fate Hollow Academy series. I started this series, God, I think it was like beginning of last year, end of the year before, and I read book 1 pretty quickly. Then I started book 2 when I was in a reading slump, and then I didn't pick it up again for a really long time, and then I finally went back to it. I don't remember when I finished book 2. I think it was like mid last year. So I do really want to finish this series because I absolutely adored the first 2 books, and Alice has also read them and really loved them. So she said to read the last 2 books in the Fate Hollow Academy series, which is by Lyra Winters. And then for the final 4 books that Alice wants me to read, it's the Dark Code series. They're all very short books. It's a 4-book series, and it's Hacking Darkness, Unraveling Darkness, Decoding Darkness, and Merging Darkness, all by Marissa Farah. And yeah, Alice really enjoyed this series, and she thinks that I will really enjoy it. So I'm definitely going to give it a shot and see if I do like it. I'm very much looking forward to reading all of these books because, one, I know I like Lyra Winters, I know I like Lily Gold, and I trust Alice's recommendation. So I'm really looking forward to picking up the Dark Code series. But yeah, those are all of the books that I read in March and April, and also my May TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and hit the notification bell below so you know when I upload. I upload every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. My videos aren't just going to be book content anymore. I am going to be doing other things as well, just because I am running out of ideas for book content. So I am going to be including some stuff to do with my writing, because I am in the process of planning my first book. And I'm also going to be including just like daily life content, travel vlogs, like I have done before. It's just my channel will be like 50% bookish and then 25% the other stuff. Like 25% writing, 25% like travel and lifestyle stuff. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for today. I will catch you guys next time.